Hello, hello. All right, this evening we're going to do something deceptively simple, and that is neck stretches. All right, and we want to do stretches for the neck specifically. One, because a lot of us carry tension here, and this can obviously do wonders for the nervous system, but also because if we have a tight neck, then it's very likely that we have lymph fluid that's trapped up in that tight neck, and that can cause inflammation and various types of discomfort. So to get things flowing, I'm going to show you 3 different stretches. And each one of these stretches you're going to want to do on your own for 30 seconds each. You're going to want to make sure you do both sides, and you're going to want to make sure that you're stretching very gently only on the exhale, right? So really collaborating with the body on this and listening to the body and listening to your body's particular limits, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate the first one. So we're going to take a nice deep breath, okay? Belly breath, nice deep breath in. I'm going to take this hand up here. I'm going to put this hand here, ready to smooth down my neck, smoothing that lymph fluid down. And on the exhale, apply very gentle pressure, increasing the space between this ear and this shoulder. Once again, very gentle pressure, and I'm going to smooth down with this hand. Take another nice deep breath. Maybe increase the depths of the stretch just a little bit. Okay, so that's stretch number 1, okay? Stretch number 2 is very similar, okay? And so for that one, you're not necessarily gonna have your hand up here. Instead, we're gonna, once again, tilt the head to the side, but this time you're gonna turn your chin up, right? So you can apply a little bit of pressure. Once again, we're not striving for anything. We're not trying to achieve anything in particular other than getting a stretch that feels good for your body, okay? So your range of motion may be different than mine, so pay very close attention to that here, okay? So let's take a nice deep breath, and then with the exhale, you can use the other hand to kind of smooth. This also smooths the vagus nerve, getting multiple benefits here. If you want, you can increase the depth of the stretch again with your next exhale. Okay. And if you're not quite feeling the stretch by doing exactly what I'm doing, kind of feel around in there and notice. And pay very close attention to what I would call the body's yes and the body's no, okay? You know, the body's yes is going to be, you're going to notice a relaxation throughout the whole body. You're going to notice kind of an expansion and an opening. If it's something that is not good for the body or that the body is saying no to, you're going to notice there's resistance in the body, right? There's a contraction and the body's getting smaller, yeah? Or wanting to take up less space, okay? So pay close attention as you're doing these stretches. And you know, probably you've done stretches where it's like you do the stretch and you're like, oh, more of this, please, right? So you know exactly what I'm talking about, hopefully, okay? So those are for the first 2 stretches. And so you're gonna hold each one of those for 30 seconds. You're gonna do those same stretches 3 times, okay, each for 30 seconds. And then you're gonna do the other side, okay? And then the third stretch is we're going to go straight up with the chin, okay? And once again, whichever hand you're not using under the chin, you're going to be, like I would recommend, using it to kind of smooth the neck, smooth the front of the neck. Once again, this smooths the vagus nerve as well, okay? And if you want to, you can stick your tongue out at the top, okay? So I'll demonstrate. So once again, nice deep breath. And then exhale. Okay. All right, so that's the third stretch. So all 3 of those, you're going to want to, like I said, kind of feel around in your body, and my range of motion is going to be different than yours, so definitely respect yours, okay? And also, if you get into the habit of doing these every day, which I do these every morning, you'll notice that from one day to the next, it's different for you, for the same body, okay? And so allow those differences to be, yeah? And don't it's important not to have any particular metric that you're applying to these other than, do you feel better, right? Does the body feel good doing this? And do you notice that there's what feels like kind of a release and maybe more flow, right? Maybe a decrease in inflammation, yeah? That's happening as a function of these stretches. So let me know how this goes. This is, like I said, something I do every day, and I decided that I wanted to share it because I do think, I think most of us wander around with tight necks all the time, and there's no need for it, yeah? So much love, and let me know how it goes. Till next time.